Yo, welcome back to the Horror Metal channel. Your shoes untied. April Fools. Haha. Yeah, this isn't an April Fool's Day prank. We're being legit. Better go ahead and send a link to the other guys so they can get here, so we make sure that we can do this thing without any issues. So we'll have time to, if we have any technical difficulties, to go ahead and fix them. Hello, Amber. I guess I'll go ahead and send the link to the guys. So we're going to be doing Stephen King. Our top 5 favorite Stephen King movie adaptions. The film was based on his novels, and maybe talk about some of our least favorites too, and some that we think are underrated, and just maybe have just a general discussion about Stephen King books and movies. Then we'll be discussing legendary heavy metal band Iron Maiden. And this is our 10th episode. So again, go and send the link. Thank you, Amber. Link has been sent. Now it's waiting on Sean Erschen and Horror Fan 88.
Hello.
Yo.
You hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
Good.
I like your shirt.
Thank you. So what was that?
Oh, yeah.
Remember tomorrow.
Love it. It's a beautiful song.
It really is.
So Strange World. 1-2 is in the chat. How's it going, 1-2?
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome.
Nice. Like your hat.
Thank you.
What's
All
going
right,
on?
we're all here.
Oh, we live already? Shit.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
How's it going, guys?
Pretty good.
Ready to get this weekend off with a bang?
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we got a lot to discuss, don't we? 1-2. Hello, 1-2.
Yo. So we each just got to do our top 5 favorite Stephen King adaptions.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well start off that way.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
I guess we'll wait till 6 o'clock just in case. Like,
Someone's just chiming in.
yeah.
So you shaved, huh?
Yeah.
You had a pretty good beard going.
Yeah, but just needed a new look. I get bored. You
Yeah.
know, like to change it up a little bit.
I was having a lot of fun jamming Iron Maiden all week.
Awesome. I'm gonna be seeing them in October.
Oh wow, nice.
Yeah, I can't wait.
It's been so long since I seen him. Since the Ozfest. Remember when they were on Ozfest?
Oh yeah,
Those 90s, I guess, late 90s.
right.
A long time ago.
The Judas Priest concert was amazing.
Oh yeah. Tell me about
it. Yeah, Queensryche opened for him, and man, they killed it too.
Yeah.
I really like Todd LaTorre. I think he's sounds just like Jeff Tate in his prime. You know, it would
He's
be cool to
got
see him.
the range, you know.
Yeah, he can hit all those high notes.
Yeah.
But yeah, they just killed it. I went nuts when Glenn Tipton came out, and somebody uploaded the full concert to YouTube. And when Rob Halford announced Glenn Tipton, you could hear me saying, "Yeah,
Nice."
Yeah. I just whoever was filming it was kind of close to me.
Nice.
Yeah. James Moss is in the chat. How's it going, James?
James?
We're going to talk about some Stephen King.
Oh, yeah. So how is Priest?
Oh, they're amazing. They're just phenomenal. Rob Halford can still sing perfectly. And yeah, it was so good. Scott Travis actually got on the mic and said, "What song you guys want to hear next?" I was like, "Painkiller," and then he started doing that awesome drum intro, and then they started playing Painkiller. That's what everybody shouted when he asked. I was like,
nice.
Okay.
They took a request.
Yeah. And Green Manalishi wasn't on the bill when I or wasn't in the set list when I looked it up online, but then they played it, and I was like, awesome.
Nice.
So Metal Gods, I wasn't on the set list either, but they played that too.
Sweet.
And I think that was the first time they played Rockarola since like back in the day. To the best of my knowledge, anyway. That was from their first album. You know, wow. I thought they pretty much disowned that album. They never played anything from it or really acknowledged it. But I guess because it was the it was the 50 Heavy Metal Years tour or whatever.
50 years?
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. They're still doing it.
Yeah. Hell yeah, Amber. It's always good time for anytime's a good time for Stephen King.
Absolutely.
Juno 2000's in the chat. Oh, Silver Bullet. Yeah, that's a great one.
Definitely.
Love Silver Bullet. It's a very fun movie.
Sure.
I agree. It was based on Cycle of the Werewolf, which was the novella. The version I had some pictures in it too. I don't know. It was actually pretty violent. There's some really bloody illustrations.
It's a pretty brutal movie too, as far as Stephen King goes. It's like sometimes I'm shocked. I'm like, oh snap! Like when the werewolf whacks the dude's head right off.
Yeah. It's funny when the werewolf uses weapons like a baseball bat and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, why would a werewolf need to use a weapon?
Why not?
Yeah, might as well.
Well, there's a part in the church too where I think there was kind of a dream with the priest, and they're all turning into werewolves. And
yeah. It must have been expensive to have all those different transformations.
Mm.
It was cool though. They kind of gave away the twist though. It kind of gave away who the werewolf was.
Yeah.
You know, when I first watched it, I didn't read the book yet, and then when he had that dream, I was like, oh well, he's the werewolf. I mean,
yeah. It was never much of a mystery in the movie that he was.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
he
They
was the
revealed it
werewolf.
pretty early on.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the only other horror movie I've seen Everett McGill in is People Under the Stairs.
He was the father, like the the main guy in the couple.
Brother, yeah. Oh, cool. Oh, Motel Hell's a lot of fun. I haven't
Ghost
seen
in the
Ghost in the
Shell,
Shell.
classic.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in a long time. What Stephen King's films you guys don't like? I don't like The Langoliers or The Mangler or let's see what else.
That's my two top choices right there.
Yeah, those are both pretty bad. Trying to think. I'm drawing a blank. I know there's a few more that weren't very good. I don't know. Yeah,
All I can think of with the Langoliers is the cartoon wheels. I'm like, dude.
Awful CGI. That's one of the worst ever. Right up there with this 1997 Spawn movie and Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Yeah.
Great choices. I haven't read Bag of Bones.
Yeah, I love Sam's a lot.
Agreed. Yes.
Did you guys have any trouble with your list? Because I have changed mine like 4 times at least.
I did too.
No.
Well, I had like 5, but I had a hard time like ranking them. I knew what number 1 would be, but when it came to the other 4, I was like, man, how can I pick some of these over the other?
Yeah.
But yeah, it was kind of
because for me, it's like ones that I watch all the time. So it's like easy for me.
I know there's some that are better than some of these ones I picked. They're like technically like they're more better. Maybe I'll just like these more. I did a top 10 Stephen King video a while back, but I'll try to talk about different stuff about these movies this time. And my order is still a little different this time. It's still the same top 5, but they're in a slightly different order. Yes, indeed.
Dark Tower. I haven't seen it, but I haven't heard
too
much good about it.
Yeah, me either.
I definitely got some honorable mentions here too.
Me too.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm. You guys want to go and begin? You want to start us off, horror fan?
Sure. Coming up right at number 5 is going to go to this pretty underrated one, Salem's Lot, the miniseries, directed by Tobe Hooper. This movie's genuinely creepy. I mean, it doesn't need the cheap jump scares. Just, of course, everyone knows the boy outside of the window, and
that
was the creepiest part, I think.
Yeah, and then the whole scene with the "look at me," the way he looked sickly. And I know, of course, they had to change something from the novel. Like Kurt Barlow is not a monster in the book like he is in the movie, I don't believe. But I think that the vampire in here is possibly the creepiest looking vampire ever. He is freaky looking.
Yeah.
But yeah, great cinematography. Love the fog and the darkness and the music. And yeah, just a very underrated gothic horror film, miniseries, whatever. But yeah, Tobe Hooper's excellent.
Certainly Kurt Barlow is like inspired heavily from Nosferatu, right?
Yeah, it looks just like Count Orlok.
Yeah.
It's more in common with Count Orlok from Nosferatu than his own literary counterpart.
Mm-hmm.
So the book, he actually talked and had a personality, and he got younger every time he fed on somebody, which was cool. Kind of like Dracula.
It was more like the Rutger Hauer version from the early 2000s.
For the 2004 one. Yeah, there's a little more, that Barlow is a little more faithful to the book. But I like the original better. That was Reggie Nelder, who played Barlow in the 79 version. He was in one of my favorite Star Trek episodes, too. Yeah, Maximum Overdrive is a fun movie, but it's stupid, but it's kind of fun. I love the opening when all the machines come to life and go on the murder spree. Stephen King directed that one too.
Yeah, I think that's the only one he's ever.
Yeah, it's a bad movie. I think it's kind of fun.
I always have fun when I watch it.
Yeah.
I guess it is kind of a guilty pleasure.
Great soundtrack.
Yeah. AC/DC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, what's your number 5, Hellhound?
After some careful consideration, I think we're gonna go with Pet Sematary.
Nice.
Yeah, when I first saw this, I think it was one of the first movies that really freaked me out. And it's mostly because of Zelda. Yeah, Zelda is just so terrifying. Yeah, wow, is she scary? She's played by a man, Andrew Hubatsik, I think was his name. Because allegedly they couldn't find a female skinny enough to play the character, so that guy played her. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why they couldn't find a woman skinny enough, but whatever. But yeah, she was really, really scary. And the movie's a lot. I don't watch this a lot because it's like I don't like sad movies really. I think it's just a little too bleak and hopeless, and losing a child is like one of the worst things I can think of. And it's not my idea of a good thing, a good time. I don't have fun with this movie. The sequel's a lot of fun. That movie's a blast. It's a bad movie, but it's very enjoyable. But this one's way more sophisticated and way scarier, and very, very creepy. Great acting. I like all the family members. Dale Midkiff as Lewis, and of course Denise Crosby from Star Trek: The Next Generation, and and of course Judd Crandall, played by Fred Gwynne. Yeah, Dead is better. This was number 1 on my top 10 1989 horror movies list, and I like this a lot better than the remake too. I wasn't a huge fan of that one. I think this one's far better. This was close to the book too. This followed the book pretty closely. They had a few deviations. There's a few things they left out, like the whole Wendigo thing, but overall, it's pretty accurate to the source material. But yeah, great movie. Very scary, but very sad too.
Out there, the ground is stony. I get horrified like every time I see the kid walk across the street. I'm like, oh man. It's so effective.
Right.
But it's horrifying. Great choice. So my number 5 would be Cujo. Always love this one. Another scary one, I think.
Yeah.
Awesome performance with Dee Wallace, and you got Danny Bentaro there from Who's the Boss? Christopher Stone, who was Dee Wallace's husband at the time, I believe.
Right. He was in The Howling with her, too.
Yeah. Really intense. I like how the dog, gets worse and worse, more and more disgusting and gross and rabid as the movie goes.
Right. Yeah, it would be a pretty terrifying situation to be in.
Yeah.
Saint Bernards are usually really friendly too, but I guess if it was had rabies, then it'd be attacking people.
Imagine being trapped in a little Pinto,
Yeah. Yeah, that would suck.
Dog was brutal. I read. You know what I saw somewhere is that someone wore a dog suit in some of the scenes. Like, did you see
Yeah,
that?
that's right. I forgot about that.
Like, I never noticed that in the movie.
It's funny.
Like,
Yeah, they must have used some clever camera angles and photography to make it look real. 'Cause, yeah, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I didn't. From what I remember, it's not that noticeable. I actually haven't read that book. I haven't read the book, Cujo.
I have. It's like my favorite.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
It's one of the few of the more well-known Stephen King books I haven't read.
I'd say the movie's pretty faithful. It even has a lot about the monsters in the closet at the beginning, where
Oh yeah,
you know how the kid's afraid of
right.
someone being in the closet or under the bed.
Somebody told me one time. They said, "Well, in the book, the dog is actually possessed by the soul of a serial killer." I was like, "No." I was like, "I don't think so." So I wanted to read it just to find out because I was like, "There's no way." It's like,
I don't remember that part.
no, I think they're just talking smack. It's ridiculous. Trash Stash is in the chat. How's it going, Trash Stash?
What trash stash?
All right, so horror fan, what's your number 4 favorite Stephen
Number
King?
4. Like I said, these could change at any time, but for right now, my number 4 is going to go to Doctor Sleep.
Wow.
This was surprising for me. I'm a huge fan of The Shining and how it came to be, and of course, I had to read the book when it came out because I was like, "Oh, they're making a follow up to The Shining. I got to check that out." And yeah, the ending of the movie is very different than the ending of the book. It changed that around, but overall, I think that they did a great job, honoring both Stephen King and Stanley Kubrick's versions. Still some pretty crazy stuff. I know the scene with the baseball boy, that's hard stuff to watch.
It's hard to sit through, yeah.
But Ewan McGregor as Danny Torrance, I thought that was great casting. Hello there, yeah, Rose the Hat, cool villain. And I know a lot of people would say the third act is kind of just like, oh, that's just fan service. I really liked it. I liked seeing that whole setting back again. And yeah. Mike Flanagan, I think, is a very underrated director these days. I really enjoyed all his work, but for a follow-up, I think they did a great job. They didn't let me down. So.
Yeah, I thought it was really good too. It's funny because Stephen King didn't like Stanley Kubrick's movie adaptation. He said it strayed too far from the novel, but then Dr. Sleep, the movie, follows Stanley Kubrick's movie. It's a direct sequel to that.
I know, interesting, huh?
Yeah, it's weird how that works. And then because in the novel, the Overlook Hotel's blown up. It's burnt to the ground, but then it's still standing at the end of the Kubrick movie, and it's still there in the movie adaptation too. So it's interesting the way they did that.
Yeah, I could.
I love the part where they return to the Overlook and see all the ghosts from that. Yep. That was cool.
The book, Dr. Sleep, it was the campground where the hotel used to be, but
right.
The hotel there, they could show it in the movie.
I still haven't seen it.
Really?
Yeah, wow. I need to. I've heard a lot of good things, so I was kind of opposed to it at first. I'm like, come on, all these years later, they're doing a sequel to. It's like freaking 40 years later.
Yeah, Stephen King doesn't usually do sequels. I read the book too. Watching Slaughter High. Good choice. It's a very fun movie.
Very fun indeed.
Very amusing slasher flick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a bunch of horror movies in the mail. I'll be showing them off in a Loathsome Lore soon. And man, I think that there's not any good '80s horror movies left that I haven't already seen. It's kind of depressing.
You say good though, yeah.
Yeah. So I'd love to know if there's any that I haven't seen, any hidden gems out there.
But there's a lot like Slaughter High that I don't know. Is it a good movie or is it just a fun movie?
Yeah, it's a fine line, I guess.
Yeah. I remember saying one of Hellhound's reviews a long time ago. I think it was on Return to Horror High or Cheerleader Camp, and I don't think you enjoyed those. I don't remember you enjoying those.
Those aren't too good, yeah.
I saw that one a long time ago when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Return to Horror High.
George Clooney was in it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, you're right. Stephen King didn't like Stanley Kubrick's movie. No, I'm drinking it's a Orange Crush. Yeah. What's
I am drinking Sprite.
Nice. What is a yerba?
I have no idea.
Oh,
Alone in the Dark. I love that.
Yeah, Alone in the Dark is great. Donald Pleasance, Jack Palance, Martin Landau.
Yeah, great cast.
Yeah. Pretty sure I've reviewed that before. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm still not sure what a yerba is, but... Oh, yerba mate. Okay. It's like an iced tea with caffeine. Oh, okay. Right on. I don't really consume caffeine unless it's really early in the day. I need something to give me like less energy and not more. Enough energy as it is.
Are you high strung?
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, my number 4, my 4th favorite Stephen King adaptation is probably Carrie.
No.
Yeah, I love the whole premise of like a bullied outcast gets even with her tormentors, and the thing is, yeah, Sissy Spacek does a great job as Carrie White. I was rooting for her the whole way.
Yeah.
It's not really scary to me because, like, the thing is, at the very end, like, again, I'm rooting for her. I want her to succeed in getting her revenge. Like get even with those assholes that bullied her for so long. But yeah, I love it. Yeah, great acting. Of course, Piper Laurie was probably the scariest part of the movie. Who plays Meg White, her religious fanatic, overbearing mother, who's really abusive.
Yeah, she's something else.
Yeah. That was like William Catt, who plays Tommy. And Nancy Allen, too.
Yeah, and John Travolta, everyone always
Yeah,
forgets
that's right.
that he's in it.
It's one of his early movies.
John Travolta's in that?
Yeah. I always forget he's in it. Yeah, Brian De Palma is great, and this is one of his best films, I think. I saw this when I was really young, and and I really liked it and still do. It's a little different from the book in that the book Carrie is described as being kind of overweight, kind of more heavy, and of course Sissy Spacek was really skinny. But it does follow the novel closely enough. It doesn't take too many extreme deviations. But yeah, still I think one of the best Stephen King adaptations.
For sure.
Love it.
So my number 4 will be Misery.
Great choice.
Excellent movie. What phenomenal acting. I mean, what great characters, great story, great direction.
That almost made the cut
Excellent
on my list. It'd be my top 10 for sure. Yeah, Kathy Bates was just terrifying, and it sucked to be in that situation. James Cain was very believable. Khan, whatever. Because in the book, I guess she actually cut his legs off instead of breaking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I've heard. I haven't actually read the book, but the movie is pretty brutal.
It's great.
deranged fan.
Yeah, you always have to like turn away when she does the sledgehammer.
Right. I've met a deranged fan myself. I think you probably know who I'm talking about too. But hopefully he never does that to me.
What deranged fan did you meet? What
I've
deranged
actually met him. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about.
And I like that whole, it's almost like kind of indirectly about Stephen King in a way.
Yeah, because that happened to him.
Author,
Sort of.
Yeah, Misery is great. Haven't seen it in a while, but it's very effective because I can watch movies with fucking gallons of gore, but that one hobbling scene, they like, ooh, just the way the
I know,
cringe. Right? It's pretty intense.
So like realistic, plus
very disturbing. Yeah, I haven't upgraded. I still have that on VHS. I haven't upgraded to DVD or Blu-ray. I don't know why. I need to do that ASAP. Kathy Bates is like your grandmother? Oh no.
I love how she talks like you cock-a-doodie.
Yeah.
Like she can't even curse. She's gotta like.
Yeah. She's an amazing actress too.
Like the language, Paul.
Yeah.
What if I just went around saying all? Oh shit or hell or damn.
Yeah. So what's your number? Oh wait.
I think we're up to 3 now, aren't we?
Oh yeah, you just did Misery. Okay. Yeah, horror fan. What's your number 3?
Sorry. My number 3 is the first Stephen King movie adaptation I have ever seen. I ever saw back when I was a kid, and that is Pet Sematary.
Oh, nice.
Like you said, it does follow the book pretty closely enough. Yeah, this movie was freaky, with a lot of the stuff in it. Of course, it is heartbreaking to see Gage go. Fred Gwynn, to me, is the highlight of this movie. That damn road. Yeah, Zelda. Oh God, that scene where she walks through the door and Zelda's laying down and she just like pops up.
Like nasty. You see like the skeleton coming out of her face, like.
Yeah. But yeah, it is definitely not a movie I'm gonna watch for fun. Like I'm in the mood.
That's true.
Whenever I'm in the mood for just a downer of a horror movie, sometimes I'll go with this one. It's pretty insane. But yeah, Pet Sematary and Pet Sematary 2. I was expecting kind of similar to that because it was directed by Mary Lambert, but that movie was weird. Clancy Brown, just so. Pet Sematary is my number.
Clancy Brown was a riot in the sequel, I thought.
Oh yeah.
Me and a friend from work back in the day. This is terrible. We used to always impersonate Fred Gwynn together. And there was this woman who also worked there. And she used to be a stripper, and she was really promiscuous. She was sleeping around with a lot of people who worked there. And my friend would always say, "I know what you're thinking. Don't do it. You don't want to sleep with that woman. Sometimes abstinent is better." There's a curse on there. She'll give you STDs. That's terrible, but it was funny.
Trash Stash says he's never seen Pet Sematary.
Oh man, you gotta check it out.
Wow.
I wasn't a big fan of the new one. I do like John Lithgow. He's always been a favorite of mine, but can't compare to Fred Gwynn. He was just so so iconic.
I haven't bothered with it because
they made way too many changes to like it. Just like it was like
I agree, and that remake or the adaptation of it is one reason why I don't really watch trailers a whole lot anymore because of what they spoil, and I'm like, really?
Yeah.
They give away way too much.
The big change with age, right?
Yeah. The stupid kids with the drums, their animal masks. Like, look at us, we're in a horror movie. It's like, come on, who does that? That wasn't in the book, I don't think. It's been a while since I read it, but I don't remember that being in the book.
It's been a while since I've read the book, but I know in Mary Lambert's version, Judge Crandall and forgetting the dad's name. Yeah, Lewis Street. Yeah, they have a good chemistry together. But in the new version, it just kind of seems like, oh, here's Judd again. What do you want? And I'm like, what?
I couldn't find my number 3. I copy it. It looked everywhere.
Oh, bummer. So it was really hard to pick one of the other. They aren't really in any strict order except for the number one choice anyway. But I might like this one just a little bit better than the other two. And same with my number 2 choice. But anyway, my number 3 is going to be It from 2017.
Wow. Nice.
Now, I really like the 1990 miniseries as well. I never found it very scary, but Tim Curry is just always a blast to watch. He's just great. I love Tim Curry. But this one I thought was far scarier and probably followed the novel more closely, even though the scene when they're kids takes place in the late 80s instead of like the late 50s. But it fits, it works. And then also a lot of the monsters that Pennywise turns into are updated here because I guess werewolves and Frankenstein's monsters and stuff like that aren't scary anymore to people now, so they had to make it come with something different. So it does take a lot of liberties, but I think overall it kind of captures the feel of the novel a little more. But I do love the 90s miniseries. I do think that this one's maybe a little better. And Bill Skarsgård, I'm not afraid of clowns at all, not even a little bit, but I do think he gives a pretty scary performance and kind of funny too. And he was very memorable as Pennywise. And it's a great cast. All those kids have really good chemistry. They all do a great job. And it's a great book, and it's a great adaptation. Though I'm way more nostalgic for the 1990 version, of course. Lots of fond memories watching that.
I think the opening is excellent, like the way they shot it, like with the little boat going down in the rain, going into the sewer. That was scary the way he did it.
Yeah, very well done.
I still haven't seen part 2 because nobody says anything good about it. So.
Yeah, I didn't think it was terrible, but it was kind of a letdown. After this one, I thought that was just kind of it didn't live up to this one much at all. The 1990 version had that too. The second part where they're adults, the adults just didn't. I don't know. They didn't have as good of a chemistry as the kids. I did like the cast. I liked John Ritter, of course, and Tim Reed and Harry Anderson and Ed O'Toole. I liked all the cast, but I don't know, something about when they're kids in both versions, like the kids are more vulnerable and when they're adults, they can leave the town anytime. I feel like it's far scarier when they're kids.
Yeah.
But I am glad that they had one part where they're kids and one part where they're adults, and it just jumps ahead 30 years or whatever. I thought that was a lot more. I feel like it was better to do it that way instead of just jumping back and forth, repeatedly. So I'm glad they did it that way,
but did it need to be 3 hours? since I couldn't find my DVD, I'm gonna go with Creepshow 2, but I really mean the original. Because I think it's the best anthology film ever made.
It's my favorite too.
I love every story. It's great from start to finish. Every story. What an amazing cast. Great seeing him collaborate with George Romero. George Romero does a great job directing.
There's a match made in heaven.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've always loved Creepshow. I definitely watched that a lot more than these three. But yeah, I would have included it, but it'd be in my top 10 for sure. Yeah, it is my favorite horror anthology as well. And I love how it's like a love letter to the 50s EC comics like Tales from the Crypt and Vault of Horror and all that. And I think something to tide you over in the crate are by far the best two segments.
Yeah.
Father's Day is a little too generic and by the numbers, just a zombie saying, "Where's my cake?" And then Lonesome Death of Jordy Verrill with Stephen King as playing a country bumpkin, and his over the top acting is kind of funny. It's a cool premise with the weeds growing everywhere. I think that they're creeping up on you. The final segment is more gross. If you're afraid of bugs, then I guess you'll find that scary. But I think that Something Can Tide You Over and The Crate are by far the two best, and the other ones are just kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
Averages to.
Oh,
yeah, I agree. Creepshow 3 sucks.
Every day, yes.
I was going to make an April Fool's joke video. I was going to do my top 10 favorite horror movies, and I was going to include Creepshow 3 and Return to Sleepaway Camp and Take Shane's Massacre of the Next Generation and like Rob Zombie's Halloween and stuff. But I just didn't get around to it. I was like, it's going to be too obvious. I was like, people are going to know right away that I'm BSing. So I was like, I'm not even going to try it.
I was going to say that Mangler was my favorite. No.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. I was so disappointed because I had Robert Englund and Ted Levine. I was like, well, this is definitely going to be good. And then I watched it. I was like, this is bad. It's really bad.
Yeah.
Did you guys get anybody with any good April Fool's Day pranks?
Yeah.
Really?
I was going to try to talk my ex-girlfriend into putting on Facebook that we're back together and like see how everybody freaks out. Maybe even say we have a baby on the way. But I couldn't. I didn't have a way to get a hold of her, and I was just like, screw it. You probably wouldn't have gone along with it anyway.
Nice.
That would have been funny though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stephen King's very funny.
Meteor shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, Creepshow is a great choice.
Love it.
Yeah,
Love
Something to Tide You Over is my personal favorite segment from Creepshow.
Yeah.
Leslie Nielsen, yes, he's probably my
Yes.
favorite comedian, but he is a great villain in this movie because he's a good, serious actor. It's just, and most everyone knows from comedy.
I know.
Yeah, he was perfect in that. He was very intimidating, very menacing. And yeah, Billy's dad, of course, was Tom Atkins.
Right.
Yeah, great cast, great segments. I love it.
I can hold my breath for a long time.
Yeah.
Cool gore effects in that too, like when they shoots them in the head and it's like water pours out and like ooze.
Love it. I love Creepshow too, a lot of nostalgia for it, but I was kind of disappointed that they didn't really do a lot of the comic book style. Like if somebody's shocked, it doesn't turn red like a comic book. I
love that.
But to me, Creepshow 2, The Raft is my favorite. I love The Raft.
Definitely.
The old Chief Woodenhead. And I didn't really care much for the Hitchhiker one. I felt like that one kind of dragged.
Yeah, it's too repetitive and monotonous. It's just the same thing over and over.
That's for the right lady.
Yeah. I feel like they shouldn't have ended with that one because every time it gets to that one, I'm just like, oh gosh. I like the animated wraparound segment though.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
That was Tom Savini, right? Just as the
yeah, as the creep
guy.
That's a good one, Trash Dash. He played a joke on his cat.
Yeah, it's highly underrated. I think part 2.
Yeah, it is. The TV show's pretty good too.
Oh yeah. So what you're saying is that Creepshow 3 is not the best Creepshow. Oh, that movie's just. I think
it might actually be worse than Texas Chainsaw Massacre: The Next Generation.
Probably. I think the closest to a Creepshow 3 is, of course, Tales from the Dark Side, the movie.
Love it.
That's what most people think.
It's a great show too. I was just watching that the other day.
Definitely.
Yeah. But am I on my number 2 now?
I think we're on 2, yeah.
Yeah.
My number 2 is going to be the original Carrie.
Nice.
I thought Brian De Palma did an excellent job with this. I'm a fan of his. Casted. And yeah, this movie is, once again, not really easy to watch. You know, I hate seeing this poor girl get picked on and bullied like she does. But in a way, it's satisfying to see her get her revenge. And, you know, it's just like, it's one of those like Pet Sematary I'm not going to watch for fun. And, you know, it's had so many like adaptations now. You had this, the 2002, the 2013, the Rage Carrie 2. But yeah, and I think this movie's filmed very well. You know, the scene when the bucket goes, the blood drip, it's just silent, and you feel the rage starting to build up.
Yeah.
And I think by far the scene at the prom where it all goes down, where it's just her eyes are wide and you have the so much more creepy than the 2013 version where it's just
Yeah, the 76 version I think is the only good one.
Yeah.
They're all gonna laugh at you. Stephen King and George Romero both were not involved with Creepshow 3. It shows. If they had been, it'd be a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you also had PJ Souls in there.
Yeah, the red bait.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Guess what? That's my number 2.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't say enough about Brian De Palma's direction on that movie. That's what makes it for me. Well, and you know, Sissy Spacek is great, but this style like is so great. Sometimes he does like the weird split screens and like the trippy stuff going on. You know? Very 70s.
Yeah. When I did my top 10 Stephen King adaptions, I think the Carrie was my number 2 as well. Now that I think about it, but I don't know. I think I find myself watching these others just a little. I don't know. It's a close one. Like I said, they're not really in any strict order except for the number 1 spot. It's kind of hard to pick one or the other because I like them all.
How about when she gets the mother, you know, pins her up with this butcher knife?
Yeah, that was cool.
And yeah, Piper Laurie, what a nut job! Oh my God.
Oh yeah, she was terrible.
And there's people like that in real life, these holy roller type.
Oh yeah, I've met quite a few of them. Well, my number 2 is going to be Salem's Lot.
Nice.
And this is my favorite Stephen King book, quite possibly. And this TV movie adaptation does take quite a few liberties with it. Like we already talked about, Kurt Barlow, played by Reggie Nalder, is really nothing like the one in the book. It's more like Count Orlok from Nosferatu. It's a more monstrous, fanged demon. then he could kind of pass for human in the book. And this one, no way. And yeah, the scene of the Glick brothers, appearing at the window and stuff is really creepy. And then when they're in the woods and Barlow just comes out of nowhere. Now, I rented this movie back in the day from the video store, and somebody put part 2. They put them out of order, so I watched part 2 first. And I was like, oh, the vampires died, and the main vampire died. I was like, what's going to happen now? Then I put the other one, and I was like, wait a minute. I was like, oh, man, I watched these out of order. But luckily, you don't have to worry about that anymore with the DVD because they're all in one disc. So, but
the old man stuff. Your fate against his fate. I love that scene.
Yeah, it's cool. I guess they're making another one now. I hope it's even closer to the book. The 2004 one with Rob Lowe and Rutger Hauer was pretty good too, and Donald Sutherland. But I prefer the 79 one directed by the great Tobe Hooper.
Yeah, I think it's the scariest TV horror movie.
Yeah, definitely. The book is a lot better.
I can't think of it. Scary. Some people say it's too long, but they forget it's 2 parts.
Right? Yeah, this is a mini series.
It's not meant to be one movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, David Soul was really good.
I wonder how many times this particular thing has been done, but both Salem's Lot, Horror of Dracula, and Fright Night all have a scene where a cross goes on a vampire's head and it burns it, leaves the mark.
Yeah. That is true.
Yeah, they have done that a lot. Pretty cool though.
Yeah.
It's funny. Do you remember Return to Salem's Lot?
I've got that on DVD too.
Yeah. I can't even remember what that was about.
It's pretty forgettable.
Is it bad? I remember I saw it when I was a kid, but I haven't seen it since.
It's funny how Barlow is on the cover, but he's not in the movie, obviously.
Isn't it just like the old man or whatever?
Yeah. I don't remember much about it either. I just remember finding it pretty underwhelming. See you later, James Moss. I agree. I hope Iron Maiden will be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame someday.
I know. It should be already. It's kind of ridiculous that they're not already.
You guys want to do some honorable mentions?
Yeah.
I don't think I'll be able to show all of them, but I picked up every Stephen King movie that I own.
Nice.
So, I already went over Creepshow and stuff, but this is one that almost made my list. Children of the Corn. Based off of a short story, and yet they made like 15 movies.
Wow.
That one, of course, goes to all the It films, miniseries. One, Cat's Eye. I like that.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
Good anthology. Yeah. Sleepwalkers. Don't really hear a lot of people talk about this. Here's a good one. Firestarter. I really enjoyed this one. That was a good one. John Carpenter and Christine. I mean, that's a great one.
It's a good one.
Absolutely, yeah.
Of course, they left some stuff out from the book. And finally,
this one,
just a little bit of
The Stand.
Yep, Stand. That's a long one too. I think like 4 or 5 hours or something.
Yeah.
And these three, they're not horror, but Stand By Me, Shawshank Redemption, Green Mile. They're good. Those are my honorable mentions.
Excellent drama films.
Yeah, those are all mine too, pretty much. Yeah, Creepshow, Misery, Stand By Me, Shawshank Redemption, Green Mile, The Dead Zone.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a good one too. Silver Bullet.
Silver Bullet. That'd probably be my top 10. Definitely would be. Maximum Overdrive. It's a dumb movie, but it's fun. Based on the story Trucks. Yeah, hell yeah. Dr. Sleep would be my honorable mentions. I saw Cat's Eye years ago, and I remember that little troll thing being far scarier. Like, I think my imagination built it up way more. And then when I watch the movie now, it actually looks like kind of cute. It just looks like a little turtle or something. It's like, man, I remember that thing being way creepier. It's a good movie, though.
Yep, and in my opinion, the very underrated, like Sean already said, Silver Bullet.
Yeah.
This was probably the second one we saw, but Corey Haim, rest in peace. Gary Busey as the crazy uncle. But I know when it comes to werewolf, the werewolf effects, they're fun. They're not American Werewolf in London or The Howling. They're just fun. They're not horrible.
No.
Silver Bullet, I love.
Well, nothing compares to American Werewolf in London or The Howling when it comes to werewolf transformations and costumes.
Absolutely.
Well, Silver Bullet's probably my third favorite werewolf movie, next to all of them.
Yeah.
Yep. Next to those two.
I have to think about that. It's up there. And there's some that you don't hear too much about, like Thinner or Needful Things.
Yeah, he wrote Thinner under the alias Richard Bachman. But I kind of like Thinner. I don't think it's too bad. And then Needful Things. I haven't seen that in years.
The Tommy Knockers.
Yeah, Tommy Knockers.
Another mini-series.
Yeah.
The Night Flyer.
The Mist, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Great choice right there. Yeah.
Talk about a downer ending.
Oh man.
The book didn't end like that, I don't think.
It's brutal, though.
Yeah.
That's one thing people remember most is the ending.
Yeah, true.
It's not even in the book. What's your guys' favorite book to read from Stephen King?
Probably Salem's Lot.
Yeah. Nice.
All the ones I read are really good, though. It's hard to choose.
Probably have to agree. Salem's Lot. It's the most recent one I've read, and my memory hates a lot. I really enjoyed that story.
I'd say mine's Misery.
Great choice.
And what are some more of the bad ones that you can think of? Like Graveyard Shift.
That was disappointing because I had Brad Dourif and some other good actors that I like, but then I don't know if I really care for that premise. Like rats, I don't know. I just don't find rats scary or anything. I've had rats as pets. I don't know. I wasn't really big on Sleepwalkers either.
Yeah.
But
it's
better
a
than
weird one.
Langoliers.
It's a weird one.
Very weird.
The whole incest thing.
Yeah, it's a little out there. Oh, this is the running.
Jen's reviews freaking loves that movie.
Oh, really? Oh, The Dark Half. That's another one.
Oh, yeah. I saw that in the theater.
Did you?
It was all right.
Oh, Dreamcatcher.
Yeah.
I wasn't big on that one either.
I haven't watched this one in years, but 1408.
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't too bad.
Nah.
Oh, yeah, Running Man, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I saw Riding the Bullet. Yeah, I saw Riding the Bullet when it first came out, and I kind of enjoyed it for what it is, but then, I don't know, I heard really bad things about it since then. I should probably watch it again just to see if, I'm sure it probably isn't, any good, really.
There's a lot of
someone. Yeah.
There's a lot of made-for-TV ones. Was Rose Red was one of them.
Oh, yeah, that's right. The Lawnmower Man.
That was like a forgettable one.
Yeah, big time.
I can only imagine how bad this CGI looks now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there was the 1997 TV miniseries of The Shining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's close to the book overall, but I just didn't think it was very scary.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It wasn't bad though. I like it.
Did we get to number one yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Oh, another one I really like, I think is underrated, is Sometimes They Come Back.
Yes, that's a great one.
Oh yeah,
I love that. I love that
was
movie.
Pretty good, actually.
Yeah, it's very good.
I have a strange feeling we might all have the same one.
Probably. Something tells me you're right.
So we haven't heard it yet.
Yep. So,
Bam!
Hell yes.
Freaking phenomenal.
Yes, it is.
That's
of course. My number one, I have to agree, is the Langoliers. April Fools.
April Fools. I was going to do that.
Masterpiece. It's funny that probably the most popular Stephen King movie adaptation is one that strays farthest from the book, and Stephen King himself hates. But it's just a master class of horror.
In the right ways. He improved on it in some ways, I think.
Yeah.
And I don't think I've ever seen a horror movie studied more and have more theories about it than The Shining.
Yeah.
Like that movie they made, the 227, Room 227.
Oh yeah, Room
237, yeah. Yeah, I need to make a movie about all the theories.
Yeah.
I tried to watch that movie. I was excited for it, and then I watched it, and I thought it was just kind of boring. The documentary, I mean. Yeah, The Shining is phenomenal. I love ghosts. I love haunted house movies. Ghosts are my favorite. Most people like zombies and vampires and aliens, but ghosts have always been my favorite. I love the paranormal, and of course, Jack Nicholson's always great.
Yeah.
The favorite of mine is Jack Torrance, and then
it's certainly one of his most memorable roles.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Endlessly quotable, you could quote it all day.
Here's Johnny. Great soundtrack too. Great eerie score.
Yeah.
Great atmosphere. Very chilling scenery.
The weird dream sequences, when he walks into the ballroom.
Love it.
It's Grady.
Overlook. Yeah.
I'm sorry to differ with you, sir.
Yeah.
But you are the caretaker here.
You've always been the caretaker here.
Yeah, this is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. One of my favorite films ever. And it's so effective. Even just the play with us, Danny, and then it intercuts to them dead on the floor. Oh.
That gave me nightmares.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, seeing those twins.
Very scary.
Yep,
Come and play with us.
Your 4 kind of main cast members, Jack Nicholson, Shelley Duvall, Danny Lloyd, Scatman Crothers, they all do a fantastic job in this film.
Yeah.
And, kid actors in horror movies, I know we always say they can be very hit or miss, but Danny Lloyd did a great job in this movie.
Great. I like Scatman Crothers a lot, too. Always like him. He's cool as Dick Halloran.
But
I honestly think Shelley Duvall was really good. People don't really say. I think she's one of the best final girls, honestly.
Yeah, she should fight back a little bit. She did scream a lot, though. Shermalo Scott is in the chat.
Welcome. Something about me is that every time I watch The Shining, afterward, I immediately want to watch the Treehouse of Horror Simpsons episode, The Shining.
Yeah.
You've got the Shining. Want to get sued?
Yeah. Here's Johnny, and the room's empty. Don't! They just locked in the freezer, and he just stays in there just eating all the food. It's like it's time to come out now. He's just like, no, I'm eating. That's hilarious.
But again, for me, it's like with Carrie, like the director is so important to the movie. The style of it is so important to the movie.
Yeah.
How he just gives you that claustrophobic feeling, when you're trapped in this hotel, and
absolutely,
yeah,
it makes you feel like you're closed in, even though it's a huge hotel.
Yeah, I love that isolated feeling of seclusion and claustrophobia. Right. Yeah, Stanley Kubrick is very meticulous too. He reshot so many scenes. There's probably so much footage that was filmed for that movie that nobody will ever get to see.
And the whole maze thing was really cool. How they shot
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really creative.
So when the movie starts and they do the aerial view, where it's like filmed with a helicopter, you can't see the maze anywhere. Like, isn't that weird? Like,
yeah,
because it was in the front, right? That's what it looks like. It was in the back.
Or how about when Jack Nicholson is looking down on the model version, but then it goes to the actual
one. That was
one.
a cool
You can't
shot.
even really tell,
Yeah, that was a really cool shot.
Yeah, I like the fact that it's a maze this time, because I think in the book it was like hedge animals.
The hedge animals. Yeah, I read the book too. It's really good, but
yeah,
the novel did leave out a few things, and the book, the Overlook blows up, and the novel he's just he's frozen.
Yeah,
Jack Torrance.
I'd like to go visit the Stanley Hotel, the real place where
I would love to.
Oh yeah,
get the idea.
That would be awesome.
So where is it? Is it in like Maine or something?
Colorado, isn't it?
Yeah.
You would think Maine, like all of Stephen King's works take place in Maine,
but I love anything that looks haunted, anything creepy. I'm like, I want to go in there, and I just really.
I wonder if it has the maze thing. Is that real?
Yeah, no. What if those twin girls are really in there? And the bathtub lady.
Oh, I think and Stephen King actually stayed in room 217, which was the number in the book too.
Yeah.
217.
Yeah, they changed it for the movie because they were afraid nobody's going to stand there. Because there was no 237 in real life.
Yeah, to me, it's just like flawless. I don't see any mistakes or anything. I think it's just perfect.
Yeah, I love it. It's an absolute classic.
There's so many memorable scenes. Even the scenes where you see like the elevator and the pools of blood coming out. It's sick.
Definitely. And I think another change that they did in this movie was Tony, hello, Mrs. Torrance. In the book, I think it was like a future version of Danny.
Yeah.
But in the movie, it's a finger.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a ghostly, person in the movie as a finger. I heard that was Danny Lloyd's idea too, the finger thing.
I like that.
Yeah. The 97 one was it was like him from the future too.
Mm-hmm.
The scene I probably was watched the most is when Jack Nicholson finds her when she's looking through all the words. All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. She keeps looking, and it's all the same in different patterns and paragraphs. And
yeah. Sometimes there's typos too in a few of them.
Yeah.
I think it makes it even more unsettling.
What do you want to talk about?
Yeah.
Maybe it's about Danny. Maybe it's about him. What should be done with it? Everything he says in that is like awesome.
You think maybe he should be taken to a doctor? As soon as possible. I saw it at the theater, and people were actually laughing during that scene.
Yeah. That whole scene is great. Wendy, give me
the He's a very creepy villain.
Yeah. Sure.
Nicholson was born to play that part.
You've had your whole effing life to think things over.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the picture at the end where he's on it. It really makes you think.
Yeah.
Midnight, where the stars and you. I wouldn't mind seeing another adaptation of The Shining, just because I love that story so much.
Another one? Oh, I don't know.
Well, because there's, they can make it closer to the novel. The TV miniseries was a lot closer to the novel, but it kind of held back a lot. It's kind of watered down because it was for TV. I just love that story so much.
Yeah.
I can just watch it over and over. But I don't think they were going to top or come close to the 1980 version.
Because you had such a great director like Stanley Kubrick. How you find someone that can do that,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wishmaster was legendary.
It's a fun movie. I love Andrew Divoff. All the scenes with him are really fun.
I like Wishmaster, yeah.
Yeah, I enjoy it. It's very amusing.
It's a fun little series.
A lot of veteran actors in it.
Well, I think 1's good, 2's good, 3 not so much, and 4.
Yeah, 3 and 4 aren't too good. I think 4 was a little better than 3, but the first 2 are the best.
Yeah, definitely.
It's Andrew Divoff.
That's because he's awesome. He makes that movie.
Yeah, exactly. Whenever I watch, a lot of times I usually just fast forward to all the scenes with him.
Evil never dies.
Yeah. Make your wishes. Dylan Mintus is in the chat. How's it going, Dylan?
What's up, Dylan? What's that? Someone's dinging.
Oh, that's my phone.
How about that? We're beautiful people. Well, we certainly have a lot to talk about with Iron Maiden.
Yeah. So we're gonna go through all their albums, or their first 9, I guess.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So everything from the self-titled debut all the way to Fear of the Dark, right?
Yeah.
Maiden.
Hell yeah.
Can't wait to see them in October. It's gonna be fantastic.
I wish I was going. Maybe I will try and go.
Yeah, you should.
Is there a question that they're one of the greatest metal bands that ever lived?
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, they talked about a Nightmare on Elm Street, April.
Oh, you wanted one?
Well, I guess somebody played a joke and said there was going to be one.
Oh, he says he was disappointed.
Oh yeah. Well, if they said Robert Englund was going to come back as Freddy, and they said April Fools, I would be so pissed. Like, don't you play? Don't you play games with my emotions like that? I never believe anything I hear on April 1st, though, so I'm always prepared.
Great slasher movie there, April Fool's Day.
Yeah. I was going to review it today, but then I realized I already reviewed it a couple years ago. I had a feeling I did. But of course, Slaughter High originally was going to be titled April Fool's Day.
Yeah. No spoilers for April Fool's Day, but that's a refreshing slasher movie.
Yeah, something different for sure.
The funny thing is that people were so shocked. It's like, why?
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely recommend the original. I would skip the remake though.
Oh, that remake is cool.
They did I didn't know they did a remake of April Fool's Day.
Yeah. Had Scout Taylor Compton in.
Oh,
really?
Great. You got to see it now. You guys ready to talk about Iron Maiden?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
Of course, the first album is just called Iron Maiden.
Yep. Self-titled eponymous debut.
Yeah.
I actually really like this album. So yeah, of course, we have bass player and founding member Steve Harris, who's probably the he's basically the main songwriter too. He's actually my favorite bassist of all time. He's just his bass playing is just immaculate. And of course, Clive Burr on drums. Him and Steve Harris make up a great rhythm section. This is the only album featuring guitarist Dennis Stratton, before he'd be replaced with Adrian Smith on their next album. And also, of course, Dave Murray, who, along with Steve Harris, is the only other constant member. Steve Harris and Dave Murray, the only two musicians who have played on every Maiden album.
Yeah.
And of course, lead vocalist Paul Di'Anno.
Hmm.
The first of only two albums featuring his more punk-oriented, more raw vocals. I really like his voice. I think it really fits Maiden's early sound, and I really love this album. Actually, I think it's really, really good. I think it's kind of people overlook it because it doesn't have Bruce Dickinson on it. I guess I don't know, but I think this people are missing out. This is awesome. Yeah. Of course, you have Prowler is a great song. This release I have here has Sanctuary. Remember Tomorrow, which is a really beautiful, really woeful ballad type song, but then it gets kind of heavy too. Then of course Running Free, which is a really arcane, really primal song, always gets me pumped. Very punk sounding as well. Phantom of the Opera is another great song. Paul Di'Anno's voice really shines on that part where it's like, "Where to stay?" Yeah, it sounds great. Transylvania, which is my favorite instrumental song ever. I love that solo. Oh man, it's so great. And Strange World, which is one of my favorite Maiden songs ever. Talk about a really beautiful, really slow, really emotive, really haunting song. Absolutely love it. It's phenomenal. Then of course Charlotte the Harlot, which is a Maiden staple, and of course the song Iron Maiden from the album Iron Maiden, from the band Iron Maiden, which they usually play at the very end of their set when they play live. But yeah, great album front to back. I think it's all killer, no filler. I like every song on here. Yeah, it's just great. Off to a fantastic start.
Absolutely.
Hope they play some of these songs when I see them. I'm sure they'll probably play Iron Maiden.
They usually do. They usually play like
they'll probably play Remember Tomorrow. Yeah, Running Free, Remember Tomorrow, and maybe Iron Maiden.
Yeah, definitely Iron Maiden.
Yeah, at the end, yeah, like they usually do.
Definitely a great start. I'll tell you the truth. The first time I heard it, I enjoyed it. But it was at that stage for me as a metalhead where I was trying to find heavier things to listen to. So I wasn't like fully there. But over the years, I've come to listen to it again and appreciate it and just think, this is one of the bands that we wouldn't have a lot of other bands without, because Iron Maiden was so inspirational to so many people. So like you said, it's a pretty overlooked album, and I just think it's a really good time. A lot of great classic songs. So yeah, I really dig this one.
For me, it was like the opposite. I started with Iron Maiden, then moved on to Metallica and Slayer and all that.
Same here.
They got me into the metal.
Yeah, same here. They were one of the first metal bands I really got into as well.
Yeah, I guess
Gomez in the chat. How's it going?
I guess you could say I kind of went backwards because I started off as a kid with Bruce Dickinson stuff and never really listened to anything outside of that. Yeah. So it was new to hear an Iron Maiden album without Bruce at first, but I really like Paul Di'Anno. I think he's a really good vocalist.
Some of the stuff he did after Maiden was pretty good too, like Battle Zone, that album Children of Madness. It's great. It sounds a lot like Queensryche. He could really hit those high notes. A lot of people forget that he had some pretty powerful pipes too, just like Dickinson. He could really belt it out when he wanted to. And he did a lot of good stuff. Killers, the band, Gog Magog, then of course just Di'Anno. All great bands.
I mean, the only difference really is he didn't have that kind of operatic style.
Right.
Like Dickinson. I guess that's probably what they wanted to go with.
Yeah. Drum Smash 88's in the chat. How's it going, brother?
What's up, man?
Yeah, great album. I prefer this work too.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep. Fantastic.
Yeah.
This vinyl doesn't have a Sanctuary on it though, like the CD does.
Well, one of my all-time favorite songs is Iron Maiden.
Yeah, I love it.
It just gets me hyped every time.
Yeah, it's great.
Yep. Really good.
It's gonna get you no matter how far. I really like Clive Burr's drums.
Flow.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it, but the next album was a little bit more of what I was looking for. So I personally like that one a bit more.
More classic Iron Maiden, yeah.
It got a little bit heavy.
Killers.
Murders in the Rue Morgue. Love Killers.
Yeah.
John Doe.
Great song.
Might be a little more metal oriented, perhaps.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first album I ever bought by them, and I think the first one I heard. Yeah, Eyes of March is the first song. It's an instrumental opener, and then of course Rothschild, which is one of my favorite Maiden songs. Murders in the Rue Morgue, which is probably my favorite song on the album. I really like that part that gets really fast. It's like, so I've got to get away from the eyes of the law. Oh, the feds are looking for me. That's cool. Yeah, Another Life, which is a very kind of like a classic rock style song with a really, really heavy, really memorable melodic Dave Murray solo. This is the first one to feature Adrian Smith. Other than that, the lineup's still the same. Still drummer Clive Burr, of course, bassist Steve Harris, guitarist Dave Murray. Dennis Stratton was replaced by Adrian Smith, and he's great, phenomenal guitar player. I think definitely an improvement. And of course, yeah, Paul Di'Anno on vocals once again. Then we have Genghis Khan, which is another instrumental. Innocent Exile is a good song. The title track is good. Prodigal Son, which kind of falls in the footsteps of Remember Tomorrow and Strange Worlds, a slow, emotive song. Twilight Zone was a good song. I don't think that's on every version of this album. And then Drifter.
Yep.
Fantastic
Killers,
album.
did you say Killers?
I absolutely love it. Yeah, the title track, yeah.
Title track, yeah.
Yeah. I like that high-pitched scream Paul Di'Anno does at the beginning of that song. That's killer.
Oh. Another one that gets me so hyped, of course, is Rothschild, that opening.
Yes. Yeah, I love that bass line. Yeah, it's so groovy.
It just rocks. Oh my God. Rocks so hard.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't talk about Iron Maiden without talking about the legend himself, Eddie.
Yes. Well, that's a badass cover, though.
Best metal mascot. This is my favorite Iron Maiden cover. Yeah, he's the best metal mascot. And Iron Maiden had the best album covers too, by far.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Gotta be.
That's why I listened in the first place. And I'd flip through their records at the record store, and I was like, man, these covers are awesome. It just looks like a horror movie.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's one of the most recognizable things about Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
Always the Eddie,
Yeah, it grabs you right away. And when they bring out the huge Eddie puppet on stage, that's really cool. And sometimes they have somebody in an Eddie costume too. They've done so many different things with Eddie over the years. So many different incarnations. I guess Paul Di'Anno was had problems with drinking and drugs, and he's unreliable. So they gave him the boot, and of course replaced him with the former Samson vocalist Bruce Dickinson, who's a lot more well known. And he's probably my third favorite metal vocalist after Rob Halford and Ronnie James Dio. I still like Di'Anno a whole lot too. I think he's underrated.
Yep.
And of course, the first one.
Dickinson, he's just unstoppable. I mean, he's just a madman.
Yeah. He's the air raid siren.
Yep.
Yeah, his powerful pipes would be fronting the band.
Yep.
His first album.
Even now, you see him like running around stage and stuff.
Yeah, he's got crazy amount of energy.
Yeah.
Yeah, great album. Because you have Invaders, Children of the Damned, which is a really good song. It's one of my second favorite track of the album. The Prisoner, yeah. I'm not a prisoner, I'm a free man. Yeah. 22 Acacia Avenue, which is a follow-up to Charlotte the Harlot.
Great
the debut.
Song,
Number of the Beast, which I've heard way too much.
Yeah, I'm sure we all have.
I've heard it too much. And of course, Run to the Hills, which I'm just like, it's just nauseating how sick I am of that song. Oh man, I don't ever want to hear it again.
Yeah, it's a bit overplayed. Yeah,
big time. Then Gangland, which is kind of more, I don't know, kind of more filler, I think, but it's not bad. And Total Eclipse, and what I consider the best song of the album, "Hallowed Be Thy Name." That is an awesome song.
Yeah, I don't think I'm that far off when I say that this is probably the most popular album. Like, when people think Iron Maiden, most of the time it's thinking of this album.
Yeah,
and I love it, but we're not to my favorite just yet.
Not mine either. Yeah, it's most people's favorite, but it's not mine.
It's probably the most popular one because
it's the most well known. It's like the but it's not my favorite. Still great though. That's a really great cover as well.
Yeah.
You know, of course, Eddie pretty much fighting the devil, I guess. It looks like the devil has an Eddie puppet, but then it turns out that the devil himself is a puppet from an even bigger Eddie.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool. Yeah, first album with Bruce Dickinson. Good old Bruce.
Dude's got the pipes.
Big time, yeah. You can hit those highs like it's nobody's business.
Oh, yeah. I remember when I first heard "Hallowed Be Thy Name," and the long takes he could do, like running low. You go higher.
Breathtaking.
Epic song.
Yes, very much so. You know, they got Dickinson, Steve Harris's songwriting style changed, and they had these longer, like more epic, more like adventurous songs. And they didn't sing about, peeping toms and prostitutes on filthy, crime-ridden, sleazy city streets anymore. And they sang more about like world history and like ancient pyramids and slaying dragons and stuff like that, which is metal as hell.
Oh yeah. What we got next?
Peace of Mind. Great album.
Is this the one where they brought in Nico McBrain?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clive Burr left after Number of the Beast and was replaced by Nico McBrain. I don't really know who I like more. I don't know a whole lot about drums in the first place. I think they're both good for, different eras of Maiden for sure. I can't really pick one or the other. I've heard different drummers say different things, so I don't know. Like I said, I don't know much about drums. But either way, it's a great album. It's kind of funny how like each album, when their first 5, they got a new member. One new member. Great album. Of course, Where Eagles Dare, Revelations, Flight of Icarus. Great song. Die With Your Boots On. The Trooper. I'm not answering that.
Wrong bands.
You're fired. Die With Your Boots On. Die With Your Boots On is a great song. And of course, The Trooper is a classic Maiden song. I'm not tired of it yet. I've heard it a lot, but I'm not tired of it like I am with Run to the Hills. I was in a band that covered that. It's really fun to play. Still Life, Quest for Fire, Sun and Steel, and To Tame a Land. Great album. This might be, I don't know. This might be my second favorite. Quite possibly. I don't know.
Flight of Icarus has some serious high notes on that one.
Yes.
Iron Maiden makes me feel powerful. Like, hell yeah.
Indeed.
And the songs are just epic. They're so like intricate.
Oh yeah.
The guitar work and the bass.
Yeah, these uniquely arranged compositions of greatness.
A lot of it's really fast paced too, like The Trooper.
Yeah.
Just gets you. It's so energetic.
Yeah, for sure.
And I do research here and there, and I believe Peace of Mind was going to be called something different, and the cover was going to be like Eddie's head open with something eating out of his brain. It was just going to be called something
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess the cover this time, Eddie's in an asylum. They captured him. He's in a padded cell. They've shaved his hair off and given him a lobotomy. He's got that metal class. His head's been top of his head's been stapled back together.
Ghostface. What's he talking about?
I don't know.
Like what?
He met Ghostface apparently.
No.
Yeah, not many people have met Ghostface and lived to tell the tale.
Yeah.
Except for I guess Sydney and Gail. Anyway, yeah, Peace of Mind, great album, and like I said, possibly my second favorite. That's close between that one and another one we're going to look at a little later. Of course, next, what?
I was just going to say, certainly Nico McBrain's been with them the longest.
Yeah. Clyde Burr passed away a few years ago too, so he's no longer with us, sadly. All right, so next we have their fifth album, and my favorite, Power Slave.
Yeah, that's
my favorite Iron Maiden album. It's great front to back. I don't think there's any songs I'd ever skip over when I listen to this.
Yeah,
excellent.
Yeah, it's great. Of course, Ace is High. It's a classic. 2 minutes. 2 minutes to midnight. Yeah.
I have not read Doom.
Lost for Words. Flash of the Blade, which was on the Phenomena soundtrack, of course. That's a great song.
Kicks ass.
Yeah. The Duelists.
My personal favorite Iron Maiden song, Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner.
Yes.
Ooh, man, that's
very epic. Then Back in the Village, which surprisingly, a lot of people don't like that song. I actually really like it. I think it's really rocking. It's a really hard rocking, really fast-paced tune. Back in the village, come on, back in the village. Oh, I love it.
I love this song, Power Slave, dude. Power Slave.
Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner is great. And Power Slave, the title track, is my favorite song of this album, and probably my favorite Iron Maiden song of the Dickinson era for sure. I love it. I love Egyptian themed stuff, and I love that. It's really fun to play guitar too. The dun 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 dun.
It's a heavy song.
Power Slave. Yeah, I love it. I love that Egyptian riff. It's just very haunting, very eerie, and just very, very very good stuff.
Usually, when we do these discography lists, I usually write down the albums and my favorite songs. With this one, I put Power Slave every damn song. Just everyone.
Yeah, exactly. It's all killer, no filler.
And that great cover.
Every song's good. Yeah, I love it. I guess Eddie's apparently a time traveler because he's found his way back to ancient Egypt and became a pharaoh somehow. And then he also becomes a mummy too later. I guess after he died again, he became a mummy.
I got this pretty cool
story.
CD here. It's like a compilation CD, but it's somewhere back in time. Popping out of Power Slave.
Yeah, it provides Power Slave and somewhere in time. That's cool. It's a good idea. Oh, so this guy met Pennywise too. Man, he met Ghostface and Pennywise and survived.
And you lived to tell about it, huh?
Yeah, that's impressive. It's very impressive. Camp Crystal Lake. Yeah, did you meet Jason too? Wow. It's remarkable. Yeah, Power Slave is my favorite Maiden album for sure.
5 stars.
Yes. And yeah, that was pretty much their classic lineup, I think, with Nico McBrain and Adrian Smith and Bruce Dickinson, of course. And then, of course, the core 2 members, Dave Murray and Steve Harris. Yeah, some of my favorite riffs and solos are on Power Slave too. Some of my favorite.
Just amazing playing,
Yeah, extravagant.
The musicianship. I mean,
Oh yeah, it's just amazing. Then their 6th album, Somewhere in Time, that futuristic Blade Runner inspired cover. Yeah, he's a time traveler. Went back to the past in ancient Egypt. Now he's somewhere in the future. And he's he's a cyborg now. He's like part android. He's got robotic, mechanical, cybernetic parts.
I always love that cover.
Huh?
Yeah. I always love that cover.
Me too. They should really make this into like a comic book or something with all the different albums covers. Like each issues tells a story from a different album cover. I guess there's some references to past songs in this cover as well. Yeah, here's more.
I'm gonna be right back, guys.
Okay. Yeah, Ancient Mariner, Seafood Restaurant, Ace's High Bar. Pretty cool. Oh, there's a Flight of Icarus right there.
Is this the album where they started putting like keyboards a little bit or synthesizers in?
Yeah, we got a little more synth heavy. Not as much as the next one, but
yeah. I love the song "Wasted Years." I know that's one that's played a lot. But
Caught Somewhere in Time. It's a great song. Love Dickinson's high notes. That's cool. And Wasted Years is great. Sea of Madness, Heaven Can Wait, Loneliness of the Long Distance Runner, Deja Vu, Alexander the Great, and my favorite song on the album, Stranger in a Strange Land. Love that. Yeah, what became of the man that started? It's great. Great stuff. Power Slave's my favorite. When it comes to my second favorite, it's a close one between Peace of Mind and Somewhere in Time. From the Dickinson area, anyway. So I like the first 2 albums of Paul Di'Anno an awful lot, too.
It's a damn shame that I know we'll get to the second half of Maiden at some point. So many cool album covers, but then there was that one that looked like CGI weird monster.
Oh, yeah. The X Factor?
I think so.
Yeah, and then they've had quite a few ugly album covers as well. Not all of them have been great. Most of them, but
yeah,
there were a few that. Oh, Dance of Death is the one with all the CGI crap. It's hideous. It's one of the worst album covers ever. It's actually a decent album though. Faces in the Sand and the title track are pretty good songs. Maybe a little too long. But yeah, Somewhere in Time. Fantastic album. Absolutely love it.
I'd really like to start collecting vinyls at some point. They just look like they'd be great in the collection.
Hell yeah. I think they sound great too. It's just, nothing cooler than just putting the needle on the record itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of references to past Maiden songs on the back, which is a nice touch.
Oh, yeah. What's your personal favorite Eddie out of all the incarnations of just Eddie?
Probably either the one on Killers or Number of the Beast. This Cyborg Eddie is pretty cool though.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sean, I guess you're mic is disconnected, it says. What? Okay.
You hear me now?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay. Sorry.
What's your favorite song from Somewhere in Time?
Oh, Wasted Years.
It's a good one. Like Stranger in a Strange Land the best.
Yeah, it's a good one too. Honestly, it's not one of my favorite albums, but
Oh yeah?
when you compare it to Power Slave, it's kind of a disappointing.
Yeah. Well, pretty much everything is disappointing when you compare it to Power Slave. So.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah. Oh, he met Jason Voorhees at Camp Crystal Lake too. Wow. So.
He did, huh?
Yeah. He met Ghostface, Pennywise, and Jason. I wish I could play Terror Drome. It looks awesome, but it's like a I don't know, it's like a fan made thing or something.
Oh, is that the one with Freddy and all them?
Yeah, Jason,
fighting like Mortal Kombat or whatever.
Yeah, it's an awesome idea, but
yeah,
I don't know how you can play it. I have to download it somehow.
I wish they made that real,
Yeah, that'd be great. I almost forgot to mention this live album, Live After Death. It's actually my favorite live album of all time. Came after Power Slave.
Excellent.
Yeah, it was a great tour. Yeah.
And they do the full Rhyme of the Ancient Mariner, don't they? In that.
Yeah, that's right. Did they not play? Okay, they did. Never mind. Yeah. My favorite live album, Live After Death.
Yeah.
I think this might be the first Eddie appearance chronologically because it shows him actually rising from the grave.
Mm-hmm.
So this might be the beginning of the Eddie story, Yeah, fantastic live album.
Definitely. The best of theirs, I would say.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's my favorite one in general, too. Speaking of Mortal Kombat, yeah. He met Melina, Sonya, and Katana, too. Wow.
Well, it must have been a Comic-Con or something. They always have cosplay people.
Yeah, I would hope so.
I met a couple at the Comic-Con, like a...
Yeah. I went to a Comic-Con one time, and all the men were dressed as Deadpool, and all the women were dressed as Harley Quinn. And I was like, man, this is lame.
I will be honest, this next Iron Maiden album, I'm not a massive fan of.
Oh, yeah?
I like it, but it's not one of my favorites.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's got a few decent tracks on it, and I think we lost Sean. Having trouble?
Yeah, sorry.
It's all good. It happens.
I think I'm good now.
Cool. Seventh son of a seventh son.
Nice.
Metal with a kind of a synth pop twist.
Yeah, that's true.
I like it. Because you have Moonchild, Infinite Dreams. Can I play with madness? The Evil Did Men Do. It's a Maiden staple. The title track, which is probably my favorite song on the album, Seventh Son of a Seventh Son. Prophecy.
One, epic.
Yes, big time. Prophecy, Clairvoyant, and Only the Good Die Young. Produced once again by Martin Birch. By the way, I guess it's Derek Riggs that illustrated most of these album covers with Eddie.
Right.
I don't know what the story is on this one. It's like a slice.
It's kind of a weird one.
Yeah, I don't know. He's holding like a womb coming out of him. He's like, I don't know. It's only half of him. It's not one of my favorite Eddies, I'm not going to lie. The one on the back looks a little better, I guess. There's some other Eddies in the ice. But
I think it's a great album.
Yeah, I like it a lot. Not as good as Power Slave or Somewhere in Time, but it's still pretty good. Like I said, I really like the title track.
Yeah, this one and the next one for me, because I haven't listened to them a whole lot, for me, they just didn't grab me as much as previous ones. Really? But I still don't think they're bad or forgettable. But
yeah.
I mean, the Clairvoyant, the Evil That Men Do, those are staples of Iron Maiden.
Evil that men to live on and on.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love this one.
Yeah, I like it. Love those guys.
I think this was the last one with Adrian Smith, right?
Yes. But then he came back later, of course.
And
now they have 3 guitarists. Didn't he... Wait, what did... Because Yannick Gears was he with Bruce Dickinson's solo?
His solo band, yeah.
And then... But wasn't Adrian Smith... Didn't Adrian Smith play with Bruce Dickinson too at one point? I don't know. When he came back, they already had Yannick Gears, and then who I guess Bruce found. I don't know. And then but now I have all 3 of them: Dave Murray, Adrian Smith, and Yannick Gears. So,
which is cool.
3 guitarists. Yeah.
How many bands do you see with 3 guitarists?
Yeah, exactly.
It must be kind of crazy.
Well, technically, when I saw Judas Priest for the last few songs, they had 3 because they had Andy Sneap and Richie Faulkner, and then Glenn Tipton came out on stage with him for the last few. So for those few songs, they had 3 guitarists. I wish KK Downing could have been there, but what can you do? But the new guys are really good.
Must be hard to decide. Oh, you're gonna do the solo here.
I know.
You're gonna do it here, and
especially when you have dual leads. Yeah, that would be.
Like, make sure no one steals the spotlight.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, Dave Murray's gonna get the most work out of it.
Yeah. But some of my favorite solos were done by Adrian Smith too.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they're both great. Phenomenal dual lead twin axe attack. But Yannick Gears is good too. And yeah, this is the first album with him on it. No Prayer for the Dying. Yeah, this was
Bring your daughter to the slaughter.
It's a very catchy song.
I love that song.
Yeah, I like that a lot. It's probably my favorite song on the album. I guess that was originally going to be on Bruce Dickinson's solo album, one of them, and then they talked him into having it on here. But yeah, it's a really catchy song. I like it a lot, actually.
I kind of like he has a more raspy kind of voice.
Kind of a new style.
And that one.
For the 90s, I guess. Or the, late. Yeah, Tail Gunner, Holy Smoke, title track, Public Enemy #1, Fate's Warning, The Assassin, Run Silent, Run Deep. Hooks and You's a pretty good song too. And of course, Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter, which I think is the best song. Very catchy. Mother Russia. Holy Smoke's a pretty good song too.
Yeah.
And Tail Gunner.
I like Tail Gunner a lot.
Yeah.
It's got that classic Iron Maiden sound.
Right. And yeah, it was the first album to feature Yannick Gears on guitar.
Yeah, I think
climb into the sky and never wonder why.
I think while many people would consider this to be one of their weakest albums, I still think it's fun in a way.
Yeah, I like it.
A lot of people would say that, yeah. Well, unless you go into the more recent stuff.
Yeah.
Then it doesn't look so bad.
Yeah, you got that right. I dig it.
Yeah.
This is actually the first one I bought from the first album I bought from them. It's kind of the one where I started getting into them, you know.
I used to have it on cassette tape.
Yeah, but then of course I went to the back catalog after that.
Yeah.
Nope. I know. Yet again, the next one is one that a lot of people don't like, but it holds a special place because it was the first Iron Maiden album I ever heard. Fear of the Dark. Love the
number one most underrated metal album in history of music. I love this album. I listen to this a lot more than I listen to Number of the Beast, because I'm so sick of that one. I've heard it too much. This album is great. In my opinion, there's so many good songs. Yeah. Be Quick or Be Dead, From Here to Eternity, Afraid to Shoot Strangers, Fear is the Key is a great song. Kind of has a Deep Purple sound. That's cool. Childhood's End, Wasting Love, The Fugitive, Chains of Misery. Love that song. Then Judas Be My Guide. It's another great song. Weekend Warrior, the title track, which is really, really damn good too. And my favorite song on the album is going to be controversial because everybody hates this song, but I love it because they did something different. The Apparition. That's the most unique Iron Maiden song I've ever heard. Bruce Dickinson almost has like a kind of a talking thing going on, like he's kind of speaking it. And it's so different. It's not just that whole galloping thing over and over.
There's a lot of different stuff on this one.
Yeah, they really took a lot of risks, and I think it works. I love it. Very underrated.
It's dark too. I mean, like the title. Yes. It's a dark Iron Maiden.
Pretty cool cover too. Is Eddie is like some fanged demonic creature who's like part tree. It's pretty cool.
I used to have that T-shirt.
My favorite song, probably going to be obvious, it's Fear of the Dark because it was the first song off the first album I heard, but it's so fast. Yeah. I
like that solo.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great anthem, kind of Iron Man anthem, like that's what they always played at the shows. Oh, in the crowd.
I hope they play that in October. That'd be great. They might. I don't know. Yeah, this is the last to feature Bruce Dickinson before he left. And of course, the next two albums featured vocalist Blaze Bayley, who, all those songs. The thing is, all those songs would just sound so much better if they had Bruce. Blaze isn't a bad vocalist. I like his stuff in Wolf's Band. It just would have been better with Bruce.
Right.
It kind of sounds a little similar. All his voice is a little deeper. And I feel like some of the songs were the way they wrote them. Like his voice isn't powerful enough. They should have wrote the songs around his voice instead of trying to write it to where it's something that Dickinson should be singing. But the X Factor has actually grown on me a little bit. I'm sorry. The X Factor. Virtual 11, not so much. Then of course Bruce Dickinson came back and brought Adrian Smith back with him. It's that three guitarists with Brave New World Onward. But those are all the ones we're going to look at. Maybe we'll do a part 2 someday. We'll look at the rest, but in my opinion, they never did quite capture the magic of some of those ones we already looked at.
Yeah.
Some
that era of Maiden,
yeah.
That was the classic era. That's
another
the stuff
great
I listen to,
Yeah, same here. Another great live album is this a real live
one,
Yeah, this is a combination of a real live one and a real dead one. A real live dead one is 2 discs. It contains both of them. Really good live album too. This has some of their later stuff. Yeah.
It's a great track listing, like
yes, there's some great songs on here. Some that weren't on Live After Death. I really like the way they play Transylvania live. Like I said, that's my favorite instrumental song ever.
Yeah, and they did a lot of the Diano era stuff.
Yeah. Bruce Dickinson does a pretty good job at singing the Diano stuff, though. Sometimes, I feel like he tries to overcomplicate it too much. It's almost like his voice is too powerful for some of those songs. But, Diano did sing them better, but Bruce does a commendable job.
For sure.
To be honest, I've still yet to listen to Iron Maiden's newest album, the one that just came out not that long ago. I still haven't heard it yet. So I don't know how it is.
What was the last one? The Book
the one with the samurai.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Shinjutsu or something.
Shinjutsu, yeah. His Book of Souls was one before that, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Yeah.
Final Frontier, I think, was before that.
I saw the video that came out. The animated video.
Yeah, that was cool.
It's pretty cool. But you can see his voice is not what it was.
Yeah.
It's getting a little raspy and
yeah. Again. There's some cool DVDs too. This is the early days. There's just a documentary about the history of the band. It has everything from when they first formed. They had a couple different singers before Paul Diano. Paul Day and his name was Dennis Warlock, I think. Who's kind of like a Kiss wannabe or something. But
what's that one
live
called?
Concerts. What's that?
What's that one called?
Part 1, the early days. It's got a documentary. It's got some live footage too, and some music videos and stuff. It's got all kinds of bonus features. Yeah, it's just loaded with Maiden goodness.
Ooh, I gotta get that.
Yeah, I highly recommend this if you're a fan of Maiden. It's chock full of goodies.
Nice.
Then, of course, the DVD of Live After Death. This contains a part 2 of that history of Iron Maiden documentary. It tells about later in their career. It, of course, has the live concert with Live After Death.
Nice.
Yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. Also, 2 discs again.
I must get that as well.
Yeah. And Visions of the Beast, which I think is I guess this is all their music videos. The complete video history, all their promotional clips, and their headlining performance at Rock in Rio in 2001.
That's a good one too.
Phenomenal career. Yeah, it's great.
The Rock in Rio.
Yeah, I don't have Rock in Rio, but I've watched it. It's pretty good too. And there's also Death on the Road, which is another pretty cool concert.
Cool.
Yeah, they picked some good songs for this one too. I really like the way they do "Hallowed Be Thy Name" on here. That kind of the extended breakdown thing, where the audience interaction is really cool.
Yeah.
You got quite a nice collection.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got most of the other albums too, the ones that we didn't talk about.
I never really thought about what would be my favorite album cover, but it's probably between Killers and Fear of the Dark. I just like the horror movie. To me, the way the night and the moon looks is similar to like King Diamond's, like an Abigail or Them, or that kind of.
Yeah.
Very horror oriented.
It is. I have to say, Somewhere in Time, I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
I'm not that big a fan of the album, but I always thought the album cover was really cool. I used to draw that, doodle that cover all the time.
That's cool.
And Killers, of course. That's a badass.
Oh yeah.
That's like horror.
Definitely. Yep. I like the cover of the single for Run to the Hills where Eddie's fighting the devil.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
that's another thing. A lot of cool covers on the singles too.
Yeah, and the EPs and stuff.
I think I have it in somewhere.
Like Tail Gunner when he's in the cockpit and the
Yeah. Fight of Icarus, and of course the Trooper, which I got the action figure. He's waving the
and
sword.
that's a cool cover too. On the
that's the one. Yeah. But there's also the single Killers from the album Killers, and has this cover of Eddie and the Devil.
Yeah.
Two-Face.
Nice.
Long live Maiden.
Hell yeah. I was really happy that Dickinson came back, you know. I wasn't too sure if he would.
Yeah. It's funny how him and Rob Halford both quit their bands kind of around the same time and had 2 albums with a different singer.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Rob Halford.
The fight thing and the
and two.
And
then of course Halford.
Mm-hmm.
Has that awesome song where he does a duet with Bruce Dickinson, The One You Love to Hate.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's on. I think it's on the Resurrection album. Either that or Crucible. I think it's Resurrection. It's cool seeing them do a duet.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. I'm probably one of the only people who, when they first heard Judas Priest, it was the Tim Ripper Owens era. I heard that before.
I actually like Tim Owens a lot. I think he's a great singer too.
Isn't he in the band with the ex-KK Downing or something?
KK's Priest, yeah. I think so.
Yeah. Yep.
Which drummer is it? It's one of their old drummers, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know.
But I mean, let's talk about Steve Harris. I mean, what a phenomenal bass player. Like, that's one of the greatest things about them is you always hear his bass so clearly.
Yes.
And where other bands, it's like drowned out. You can't even
can't hear it. It's like, what's the point? Also, it's kind of a bass solo too sometimes.
Yeah.
Sounds like. Yeah, he's just a master in the 4 strings.
He's so fast and like,
yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Amazing songwriter too.
A lot of times his bass like drives the songs, you know?
Yeah, oh yeah, very bass driven, very bass heavy.
Even with 3 guitar players. Like,
yeah.
You still hear him.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah, I'd like to read Bruce Dickinson's autobiography. You know.
What does this button do? Yeah, I read it. Unfortunately, there wasn't like a lot of music stuff. There's like entire chapters about, flying a plane and how planes work and beer brewing and fencing. And it's like, yeah, by the way, I was in Iron Maiden too. It's kind of disappointing, I'll be honest. He's a great writer, and it's commendable that he didn't have a co-author, which is really cool because he's written other books too. Again, it's very admirable. I think it's really cool that he does all those things, and I expect him to be in there. But I feel like all the Maiden stuff, like his relationship with his bandmates, was kind of glossed over. And I wish Steve Harris would write one. Adrian Smith wrote an autobiography, and I was going to get it. Then I read that it was like 90% about fishing. And so I was like, I'll pass. That's a hard pass on that one.
You want to hear you want to read a great book, Dave Mustaine.
Yeah, Mustaine. That's a great book. Yeah, I've read it. I like Ozzy's a lot too. I Am Ozzy. That was a really fun.
Yeah.
It was a really fun read.
Great.
And recently, Ryan James Dio's autobiography called Rainbow in the Dark. He died in the middle of writing it, so his widow, Wendy Dio, and Mick Wall finished it. But so it cuts off like during the Sacred Heart tour. But I like that book because it's all about the music. Some of the other music autobiographies I read, like, are a lot about, there's a lot more about drugs and playing poker and driving a car. Just like, man, I want to read about the music,
I like hearing some of the crazy backstage type stuff too.
Yeah, I like that too. As long as it's not like the main focus all the time.
Yeah.
The groupies and stuff, and the drugs is not.
Another good one is Rex Brown's book there, the Black.
Yeah, I haven't read that yet.
Very good.
Yeah. What was it called? Is it called Official 101 Proof, just like that live album? Or
something, I think something like that, yeah.
Yeah. It'd be cool if Phil wrote one.
But he kind of rips on Vinnie Paul a lot, so
yeah.
maybe it's not so like. Yeah. Since he died, it's probably not so good karma.
Yeah, true. Scott Ian's book, I'm the Man, is pretty good too.
I have that one. Yeah.
Yeah. And David Vincent's book, I Am Morbid.
Mm-hmm.
Was good. I wish somebody from Slayer, like
I know
Carrie King or Tom Araya, or even Dave Lombardo. I wish they would write one. I like to read the whole Slayer story. From
Slayer's never had any kind of biography or anything.
No, yeah, they need one of the musicians needs to write one. There's no Metallica autobiographies either.
I think there is, but not written by them.
Well, yeah, there's biographies, but not autobiographies. Not one written by one of the actual members.
Yeah. Yeah, I would like to see that.
Oh, KK Downing's got one too. I've read it. Heavy Duty Days and Nights of Judas Priest is really good.
Rob
Halford's, yeah, his Confess. That was a really good read too. I really enjoyed that. I couldn't put it down.
Yeah, like you said, I'd like to see like Dave Murray or Steve.
Yeah, Steve Harris. I think would be the best choice to write one. He's been there since the beginning.
He'll get the whole history of Iron
Maiden,
you know.
I wish King Diamond would write one too. That'd be cool.
Oh, yeah.
Surprised he hasn't.
I know. He should direct a horror movie too.
Yeah, right?
Or write a horror novel or something.
Careful though, you never know. Look at what Danzig did.
Oh yeah.
Might not be the best.
Yeah.
I've tried to sing like King Diamond once and I failed horribly at it. You know what? I gave it a try.
That's hard to sing like that.
Yeah.
I think it was it Merciful Fate with the song Egypt?
Yeah. From the In the Shadows album.
Yeah, I tried to sing
Cyrus, Anubis.
But I love the riff in that song.
Yeah. Kick ass.
I don't think anybody could sing like him, like, because it's like off, like weird, off pitch, but high.
Yeah, I can sing one thing, and that's in the song Black Funeral. All hail Satan! But I can't do the higher one.
It's like,
Integrity 101's in the chat. Yeah, the KK and Priest drama is pretty unfortunate.
Yeah. I know, yeah, because Sabbath doesn't have Bill Ward. Well, they're not even together anymore, so it doesn't matter. But
Solid Brins in the chat. Alien's better than Predator. It's a close one.
Yeah.
Similar to Scott would disagree, I guess. Oh, he said Alien, not Alien. It's a close one. I don't know.
If it was between Aliens, the movie, versus the original Predator, I think I would go with Predator.
Yeah.
That's tough, though.
It's a close one.
I actually like Alien a little more than Aliens. Like Alien,
I would pick Alien over any of them.
Depends on what I'm in the mood for. If I want a straight up horror movie that's really scary, I'll watch Alien. If I want to watch a action packed, really epic, really entertaining movie, I'll watch Aliens.
Mm-hmm.
And if I want to be bored out of my mind, I'll watch Alien 3. And if I want to laugh my ass off at how stupid something is, I'll watch Resurrection.
Yeah, same thing like with me for Terminator.
Or if you want just dumb fun, Alien vs. Predator.
Yeah.
Turn off your brain.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Black Veil Brides.
Hmm.
What do you think of Black Veil Brides?
Never really heard much of their stuff. I don't think it's really my
cup of tea.
Cup of blood.
Cup of blood. Or cup of coffee, he says.
Oh yeah.
That's more like gothic kind of vampire stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. The closest thing to that sort of thing I like is Typo Negative.
Yeah.
They're great.
Dragon Force, what do you think of them?
I have not listened to much of them. I'm not really a power metal guy, honestly.
Yeah,
well, I think it's amazing how they can play that so fast. They're definitely talented. It's just not really my thing.
They write some serious solos.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's like like Dream Theater is like that too. You ever listen to them?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like that epic.
Royal Blood. I never heard of them. Yeah.
Royal Blood.
It's all good.
Best
main album for me is Power Slave. Power Slave. This one right here is my favorite.
Yes.
Well, I might disappoint you guys. Seventh Son of Seventh Son to me.
Nice.
That's your. Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
My favorite.
I like it.
What do you think of Ghost? The band Ghost.
They're pretty good. They're not as heavy as you would think. It's almost like a blues or cult type thing. I really like their whole stage show, the whole gimmick they have. Papa Emeritus, whatever, with the Pope hat and stuff, and performing the Nameless Ghouls.
They have a cool look, yeah.
Weird, this is cool.
Very bizarre music.
Yeah, I like what I've heard. Yeah, the only power metal I like is Halloween, Blind Guardian, Iced Earth, if that counts. I don't listen to a lot of power metal.
A lot of that comes from Iron Maiden.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like, what do you say?
Yeah. Some people consider Queensryche a power metal band too. I don't know. Yeah,
like,
maybe.
Like Sabotage or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, Integrity 101 is right. Powerfully is the first Maiden album without a lineup change. Yeah, each album had one different member. Until
Halloween's been around a long time.
Yeah, it's funny because now they have all three singers. They have Kai Hansen, Michael Kiske, however it's pronounced, and Andy Darris. Pretty cool. All three singers. Wow. Yeah. It'd be cool to see them live now. I think Michael Kiske is my favorite.
Yeah. Like you were saying, I am a Iced Earth fan too, and they got really cool artwork. Yeah,
they do. Set Abominate is their mascot.
Yeah.
Yeah, Iced Earth is great.
Yep.
They've always had a great vocalist. Except the first guy they had in their first album, the self-titled Gene Adam, was he kind of sounded like Dave Mustaine. It was okay with all the other singers they've had. John Greeley and Matt Barlow, and of course Tim Owens. And Stu Block, and I think they have another guy now. They've always been really good. Yeah, I've always liked Iced Earth.
Yeah.
A solid Bren like Seven Son.
Oh yeah. Glad to see some love for that one. I know a few people don't like it. Yes, I have two of Bruce Dickinson's songs. I have Accident at Birth or Accident of Birth, and what was the other one?
Balls to
Picasso. Yeah, those are the two I have. They're both really good. Yeah, I like Dickinson's solo stuff. It's pretty good. I definitely recommend checking it out. It's well worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Iced Earth is great.
Mm. Yeah, I like finding really obscure bands that I don't hear a lot about, especially with death metal. Cancer, they're really good.
Yeah.
Malevolent Creation, I like them.
They're good, yeah. Great guitar playing.
Oh yeah.
I'll find out about a lot of bands like that when you go to like the concerts. Like if you go to see somebody bigger and they see the openers that sound cool, like, ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah, I discovered a lot of bands that way.
Bolt Thrower is another good one. Love Bolt Thrower.
They're great.
Yeah.
Like some of these new ones I think are pretty cool. Like what is Slaughter to Prevail or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like Russian band.
Yeah.
Whitechapel. Pretty cool. It's heavy, but it's a lot of them sound kind of similar though. Like have that kind of like.
They kind of sound a little like Cannibal Corpse, but most of their stuff's a little too like deathcore sounding for me. I don't know. One of my friends kind of ruined them for me too. Yeah, it seems more and more people are really liking Seventh Son, which is good. Yeah, Halford's solo stuff is great. Bolt Thrower is awesome. Yeah. I'll have to check that out. Yeah, I highly recommend it. Halford's solo stuff. Cool. Anybody have any closing thoughts about Iron Maiden or Stephen King?
Up the irons.
Yes. Hails.
Hail indeed.
Any ideas for the next? Say what? Any ideas for the next band you guys want to talk about? We did with Maiden. We don't have to go through the whole discography. We can just do like a segment of their catalog.
Mm-hmm.
Like we did Black Sabbath. We could just do the Ozzy era, or preferably the Ozzy and Dio albums, or I'd love to do Sabbath or Priest or maybe King Diamond or Merciful Fate. Merciful Fate only has like 7 albums. I think we haven't done Anthrax yet, right?
Yeah, I'm not as familiar with that.
With Anthrax? Yeah, people complain about the prog rock and synth pop feel of Seventh Son, but I like it.
Down.
Yeah. See, I'm not that knowledgeable about them really.
I think Sabbath would be a good idea.
Yeah, I would love to do Sabbath. It's my favorite band, so.
I'm surprised we haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
10 shows in, as you pointed
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I definitely did Down with Sabbath or I think Sabbath or Merciful Fate would be
Yeah.
the top two choices.
I'd have to brush up on my Merciful Fate.
Yeah.
I'm not quite as familiar with them as I know some of their stuff, but
Yeah.
like Don't Break the Oath. I mean, that's great.
Oh yeah, it's classic. Yeah, I agree. If we do Sabbath, do by lineup, we should do like the Ozzy era, then maybe the Dio era, like just separate them.
Yeah, like another show, do the Dio era.
Yeah. I'd love to do the highly underrated Tony Martin era too.
Hmm.
He was a phenomenal singer as well. Yes, I agree.
Then the reunions, you got Dio came back for a little while, and then Ozzy came back, and then Heaven and Hell.
Yeah. I'd love to do Tony Martin. Tony Martin was awesome.
Who was the singer on the album Born Again? Is that,
Ian Gillan from Deep Purple.
Deep Purple, yeah.
Yeah. That was the only album with him. Then Glenn Hughes, also from Deep Purple, was on the next one, Seventh Star, which is supposed to be a Tony Iommi solo album.
Yeah.
Pretty good, though.
And he did do a solo album. Remember, we had a bunch of different guests,
did a couple
like
of
Bill
them,
Anselmo and stuff.
Yeah, there was one with multiple singers, and there was another one with Glenn Hughes again. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, DEP Sessions, and then Fused, I think were the names of them. Yeah, Dave Grohl and all them.
Yeah. We'll have to figure out what we'll talk about for horror.
Yeah. I would love to do the Texas Chainsaw Massacre franchise eventually. I know you already did that recently with Horror Hangouts. Maybe another franchise.
I'd be okay with doing that next. Yeah. I just don't want to do it the same month as the other one.
Yeah, I understand. Because we did Nightmare on Elm Street, so it'd be cool to do, Texas Chainsaw.
Yeah, I love talking about that.
Yeah. Or I don't know, just some cool to do a horror franchise where we look at all the entries in the series, and then of course a band where we look at all the albums in their discography, or at least a segment of it.
Yeah. She Demons Band. What? They eat guys alive. What the heck?
If you say so.
What is
my ex-wife? I guess. I don't know.
What is that is so insane that you just love it? For me, that would be Dead Alive. I mean, the stuff in that movie is
yeah, that's true. So insane.
So over the top. I love it. A lot of people don't know that the director of Lord of the Rings used to make gory horror movies. I actually like Peter Jackson's style when he does horror. I wish he'd go back to it, but probably won't.
I doubt it. It's gone too far. If he did a horror movie, it would be like really artsy and probably.
Yeah, probably. It wouldn't be anything like his old ones. Fair enough.
Well, I mean, King Kong was pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it. Not as good as the 1933 original, though.
No. I still love that the best. I still love the original.
Me too.
There's something about that old school animation with the...
Yeah, stop animation. I love it.
Like when he fights the T-Rex and the...
Dead alive. Yeah.
Stuffs the tree down as a...
Yeah.
mouth.
He did that to Godzilla in 1962, King Kong versus Godzilla.
Oh, yeah, I love that. It's such a fun movie, even though, yeah, I know it's kind of cheesy, but
yeah.
How do you not have fun watching that?
Yeah, exactly.
Like Godzilla, like kicks him, he's like, psh, like,
yeah. Great stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. If they called themselves something different, it probably would be more well remembered. Yeah, because a lot of people don't give the non-Aussie Sabbath stuff a chance, which I think is a big mistake. I think they're really missing out. But whatever.
Mm-hmm. I think it's just because more or less because they know the Aussie stuff so well.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that Black Sabbath had a lot of different sounds with different singers.
Right.
Well, the original, Ozzy era had the big hit songs.
Right.
But for me, Tony Iommi is Black Sabbath.
Me too. I agree.
Yeah. So. The Riff Master.
Riff Master.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Basically created metal with those monster riffs,
Indeed. So creative. I can't come up with something that memorable in my head, let alone figure out how to pick it out on my guitar.
Right? It's just amazing.
Yeah. Stellar. Anybody have any closing thoughts?
Iron Maiden freaking rules.
Yes.
Another fantastic stream. Had a great time.
Great show.
Hell yeah.
Thank you guys for joining me here on the Horror Metal channel. I'm Hellhound.
Horror Fan 88.
Sean Erschen.
Well, thank you for everybody in the chat for joining us. This has been the Morbid Hour.
Have a great night, guys. Thanks.
Yeah, let us know if you can think of any topics you'd like for us to discuss.
Yeah.
We'll see you later.
Have a good one.
See you next time, guys. Peace out.
Take care.